All right. Peace. Welcome to Movie Innerstandings. I'm Brother Low, and here we are back at it again this strong. And like I say, we taking it to the south, southwest. We taking it to the Pacific. You know what I'm talking about? And we are doing the movie Tanna. Now, for those that don't know, Tanna is peace, Randy. Tanna is actually an island. It's an island in the South Pacific of the Vanuatu archipelago in the Southwest Pacific. It's a stream of islands, and it was first settled by apparently it was first settled by the Melanesians in 400 BC. Peace, Sister Shirley. Um, and then it was discovered by a Captain James Cook in August of 1774, a British captain. He founded the town of Port Resolution, which is named after the ship that he had, the HMS Resolution. It's part of the Tafia province, which is an acronym for the islands that make up, basically the government. Tanna, Aniwa, Fortuna, Eramongo, and Nithium. But apparently, Tanna got the name Tanna from James Cook because that's the word for earth, in that language. But that's what we're covering. Oh, and I will say this, in the movie they're going to talk about costume, so we already know what that word sounds like, but costume, refers to law and culture and way of life and things of that nature, so just remember that, blessed love to you, Abba Cruz, shoot, how y'all doing on the fast? I forgot to ask everybody that. How y'all doing on the fast? It's being one. Back at it again with the fast. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah. But in the movie, we go to the village, I would say, of the Yakel people. That's on the island. And we see these children playing, and already, this movie is, as they say, Romeo and Juliet for the Southwest Pacific. The only problem is that instead of two rival families, it's just one tribe, and both of them are members of the same tribe. Both characters are members of the same tribe, and but it still has that, I guess, that feel, or that's how the Western mind can process it. You know what I'm talking about? And but we meet the main female character, Wawa. And as the children are playing, in the village and around the village, she meets Dane, what I'm saying, who is the chief's grandson. Now already this movie is telling you how wayward, I guess, what I want to say, how this is not how keeping it real goes wrong, but how disobedience, waywardness, I mean, just a lot of stuff. How this just is just one complete mess. It starts off right. Okay, so Dane goes to meet, well, they both go to meet each other, right? And all you could say is at the start, why isn't this woman, this young maiden, covered? I mean, she's just going to meet another guy, a guy, in the woods, all freely, and ain't nobody said that. You know what I'm talking about? And peace, Sister Shea, you good. And but she meets him. Her sister named Celine. Sees them, and here we go. Wawa's asking her sister, "Don't tell my parents." Already you doing something completely taboo amongst your culture, and here you is basically corrupting your sister, saying, "Don't tell mom and daddy." you know, oh, don't tell them, don't tell them, don't tell them what I'm doing, because you already know you wrong, right? Peace, Sister Deirdre. But that's what they doing, and we already know that they are lovers, you know. But this is the time, also for those that don't know, this is placed in the 80s, but 1987, but basically when this happens, because apparently it's a true story. But Wawa is of the age of becoming a woman, and she's about to be initiated into womanhood. So the women of her tribe, and the relatives of her tribe, female relatives of her tribe, are making a new skirt for her. You know what I'm saying? And as they're doing that, and she's helping, here comes Dane, watching her and whatnot, and telling her to, hey, give her, giving her the head nod, like, come over here. Already you see that, honestly, from jump, Dane really does not respect Wawa's virtue. I'll say it like that. And what I mean by that is, he's meeting this woman, unattended, and which is a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? Because rumors get started, like, oh, you mean this, this dude alone, what were y'all doing? It's like when people assume, you come in at the house at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they say, hey, ain't nothing, ain't nothing open at this time of night, but legs. It's the same concept, right? She's meeting this guy alone and without supervision. And already she's just smiling and giggling and whatnot. And she's like, I want to play with my friends. Now the problem is, I don't see no people her own age, around Wawa. It's like she's the only, I would say, teenager there, or female teenager there. There's no one really her own age. All the I guess peerage are little kids, her little sister's age. Like that's you know, but you can already tell she's disobedient, and of direction, you know. And but it's not just her, you know what I'm talking about? It's like the women in that family are, besides the mother, apparently, but the women of, well, the girls of this family are highly disobedient. Wawa's disobedient. Celine is a little kid, but she's disobedient. You know what I'm talking about? And pieces the Moksha, and here comes Celine. She goes into the taboo place, and here you have, um, think her father, chasing after her like, hey, you can't go there. Here she first she grabs a little boy's uh penile sheath, right? That he wears. You know, they was playing in the river and whatnot. She grabs it and runs off with it, and then she runs straight into the taboo place. And so her dad's like, hey, you don't come here, the Emmerdine, they see you, they'll kill you for nothing, and then they go back, to their own basically territory. And but before that, you see, the Emmerdine, or at least an Emmerdine warrior watching them, from the woods, quiet and stealthy, right? And so after that, as Wawa is told that she's going to be married off to another tribe, and it's time for her to learn from her mother on how to be a wife, and how to learn and how to learn how to be a mother, right? You know what I'm saying? But she Wawa gives the most scowling looks, you know. But she like she don't want to learn. Here's her mother doing what she's supposed to do, apparently teaching her the ways of womanhood, motherhood, and wifery, I would say, or whatever. And she ain't feeling being married off into another tribe, right? But like I say, the girls are highly disobedient, and it's to the point, at least for Celine, her little sister, that okay, her grandfather says, okay, you're coming to meet with me to the to Yahoo, which is a volcano, and you're going to learn respect. Basically, it's like going to an earthly deity and observing, you know, and learning that, but it's like, yeah, you're gonna go to the spiritual mother and you're gonna learn respect, because obviously you don't learn that, but he escorts her, right? Um, but you have her grandfather, who is a shaman, tells her of Captain Cook, you know, and as they're looking over the land, he talks about the lost people, who are Christians, who have basically converted to Christianity, of their people, but they're lost. I found that to be very interesting and cool throughout this whole movie, right? So but yeah, you know, also I would say I found it interesting, that we're in the South Pacific and you have melanin rich people. But for me, it was like, man, don't all these people, look like somebody or or just the facial structure, you know what I'm saying? They look like somebody, or you could just place them in some region, on the continent, right? But I also thought of, how they were dressed. They were dressed, or the face painting that they were doing. I thought of the Amazons, the Amazon people in Brazil, a little bit. But yeah, man. I mean, they go there and he talks to her about, costume. You know what I'm saying? Wasabi definitely looked like someone I know. Yeah, Wawa show did, like with that baby face. Just like, man, if she looked like somebody down the block, down the block. I would say Chief Charlie, he also looked like somebody I knew, but he also looked like um he resembled a Zulu chief that got put in prison and died in prison during the Bambata rebellion. And I'll be like, he looked just like him. Why, why am I getting Zulu vibes from them? But yeah, I thought about that. But he also looked like somebody I know from, a few people I know. I'm like, boy, if I was, you look like, you come from down home. But yeah. And how you gonna call her wasabi? Wasabi. We are not on Japan right now. But anyway, um, Celine, what a reckless youth. I tell you, but the trip to the volcano fixed her. It was as if it were a rice patch. Yes, I would say that too. What I liked about that scene was you didn't have to whoop her because I thought Celine needed a whooping, but that's my Western thought. Celine needed her butt whooped. But all it took was a pilgrimage or whatever to to the volcano, and that fixed her. Yeah, man, if all children were like if all children were like that, you could just take them to a waterfall. You gonna learn respect today. Go and look at that waterfall. You know, now it's something greater than yourself or something. Or look at a dang old tornado. Whatever. We ain't in distance. They ain't coming this way, but something. But yeah, that's all it took. And she was like, I can hear her, and her grandfather was like, yeah, you got the gift, and that's special. You're special. But at the same time, they're being tracked by immigrant, the immigrant people, um, because one of them says that the shaman cursed their farmlands or whatever. Um, and so they track them to, the volcano, and they club them. They beat them up with, blunt objects or club. You know what I'm saying? Um, and Celine runs, and she runs back to the village, and tells them, that the Eminem, beat up grandpa, grandpa, and so the men go to bring him back and whatnot, and they see, that his head is bashed, well, he's bloodied, right? I'm surprised that he didn't have a concussion because it looked like he wasn't gonna wake up at all. But as he's unconscious and he's with his family, all of a sudden he starts to sing. He starts to sing a basically a prophetic song with Chief Charlie, who's not even in that room, at the moment, but he knows the song because he hears it too, and then he goes back to the room where grandfather is, and then they start singing the song about for peace, peace with the Imadon, you know what I'm saying, and so the song calls for forgiveness, and like I said, it's basically a song of prophecy, you know what I'm saying, and so all of a sudden, grandfather wakes up, and as well, Chief talks to Dane about peace, how they need peace or whatever, and the issue is, Dane parents got killed by the Amadon. They both got killed by the Amadon. And his grandfather's just giving him advice, what I'm saying? Because he's going to be chief one day or whatever. But the thing is, you know what I'm saying, Dane cannot forgive the Eminem for what they done to his parents. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that the chief says, he says, if you want to be a good chief, you must move past, or beyond revenge. You know what I'm saying? But he can't. The thing is that I was like, well, I understand Dane lost his parents, but I mean, the chief lost his son. You know what I'm saying? Or, he lost his own um, son that he cultivated with his own hands. You know what I'm talking about? And if he's willing to forgive, you know what I'm saying? Who are you to be like, I don't want to forgive? He's already going against the direction of the chief. Even if that's your grandfather, he's chief first, right? And he like, man, he goes to Wawa and say, I can't forgive them. I ain't gonna forgive them. You know what I'm saying? I still want revenge. You know what I'm saying? And already, Baba Randy. No problem. Give thanks, bro. But uh, when Dane says that, you know what I thought? I was like, yeah, this may have been about, love, and he may have loved Wawa. But at the same time, I felt like this was also subconsciously him getting revenge. That's what I thought. At the same time, he's subconsciously getting revenge on them because he's taking something from them, right? But moving right along, they go to a peacekeeping chief, you know what I'm saying? And the Emidan and the Yakul, they meet, and they order for peace between the two. And Chief Charlie offers Wawa, as a bride for the Emidan, and to seal the peace, and then the Emidan offers a bride, to the Yakul, or the Yahoo, yeah, um, to seal the peace. It was exchanging the brides. And all of a sudden, that's said, and here comes Dane being emotional and storms off. You know what I'm saying? Already that's bad look. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's in me. It's like Godfather Part One, when Vito's like, "Hey, Sonny, you never let nobody outside the family know what you're thinking," and already, what I'm talking about, you see Dane showing the enemy at the time. The enemy, even though they're in peace talks, that he's emotional for one, and two, there's something going on between them two because he's walking off. You know what I'm saying? So I had to put myself in the Eminem shoes and be like, you see that? They must got something together. He walking off like that's his chick. So, if I'm them, I'm like, okay, so who are they really trying to give us? Somebody else's mom? I don't know what's going on, but from his emotional response, he don't like it, and there's something going on that we need to fact check, But that's just how my mind works. But as they seal that deal or whatever, Wawa's grandmother, who sees, well, she questions Celine, and about, has she been, going around with Dane and whatnot, and Celine's reluctant to say, but yeah, you know. And so grandmother tells, Wawa's mother, hey, you need to watch your daughter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I said, so because never let nobody outside the family know what you're doing. But that's what he did, right? And so the women, see Wawa as they walk in, you know what I'm talking about? and they see her, come out the woods, but they also see her come out the woods with Dang. You know what I'm saying? And he runs off. Like, you know, already, he giving off this energy like he's the only way I can he don't have no character. I say it like that instead of saying what I thought I was gonna say. He runs off like a person that doesn't have character, or like I say, doesn't care about the virtue of Wawa, because he just doesn't even do it the proper way. He doesn't court her or anything like that. He just you know go behind the eyes and ears of the tribe, and basically uh plays his flute or whatever, and romance her, what I'm saying. um Greetings, and Marlene, right? What I'm saying, a lot of romance and whatnot in this. And so Wawa says, as the women are chastising her, that she's not going to the Eminem, and her mother says, no, it's not about you, but it's about us. It's about the tribe, what I'm saying. And grandmother warns that if she follows her heart, because that's what she's saying, this is how I feel in my heart. Well, if you follow your heart, what I'm saying, the Emmerdon's gonna take revenge. What I'm saying. Already you can see that the ego was taking place. He's like, oh, I felt it in my heart. This is what I want in my heart. And they're like, this is bigger than you. No, this is about the tribe. We are suing for peace. you know, we've already got the instruction to go for peace. And here you are talking about love and whatnot to a guy that won't even he even speak up and say, hey, I wanna, didn't go see a father, didn't do nothing, didn't even tell his own grandfather. It's like he don't even have the courage to stand up for you or ask for your hand, publicly. But you love him, you know, But yeah, but we see that the Emmerdon, they are warlike. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he don't honor her. The Emmerdon are warlike, and they really, as you see them, they could care less about peace. They just savage. You know what I'm saying? And here, women saying, if you do this, they're going to take revenge because they don't, they're bloodthirsty or whatever. They ain't scared to fight. You know what I'm saying? And they'll take it as an insult. In my mind, that's an insult. So what does Wawa do? Wawa kicks it up a notch and tells the women in her family that she slept with Dane, and so she can't go to the Eminem. And that causes a big ruckus, right? I mean, but it should, because once like in the I know what said I know way says, once you sleep with somebody, if y'all go past that point, y'all married. So basically, Dane is married to Wawa un- unofficially, you know, because he, took the box. But I mean, that's true. It was an act of revenge. Why do you think Dane refused to walk in the role of authority he was given? He had an opportunity. Yeah, he had an opportunity, but he was egoic. Um, and even though he had, the instructions from the chief, who was his grandfather, he wasn't no chief. He wasn't no leader. He was ruled by his emotions. You know what I'm saying? You could tell he didn't want to forget about revenge. You know what I'm saying? He sees Wawa and romanticizes her through emotion. You know what I'm saying? That whole I'll say it like this. That whole dang on swapping of the brides. That was like, the purpose of the tribe, of both tribes in that moment. And nobody's moving towards that. It's about feeling. But this is the purpose for peace. So, usually tribal wars, they can get really bad, throughout history. They can get really bad. When you have like marriage, that makes you one people or something. It seals peace, and get should um take away the enmity between two tribes or two warring tribes. Yeah, it was business. You know what I'm saying? It was politics and economics. you know, um, extend nations and peace. How unions are meant to be. Yeah, but he already shows that okay, I'm too fearful of really honoring her and telling her, telling my chief and my grandfather how I feel. So because I know that they're going to take her to them, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sleep with her, and ha 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 ha. They ain't going to be able to take her. Basically, you just stopped us from having peace. You just um defecated over the whole peace process. And for what? That's an act of war. Like I said, that's an insult to the immigrant. So, you know, that was pretty much the revenge. That was his revenge. For your lawns to sow your royal oats. You know. So, the chief, Wawa's father's man. So he starts, beating up on on Dane, as he should, but it's still his fault because they should have covered her better. But he starts beating on Dane, and then Chief was like, well, Chief Charlie was like, this need issue, but you know what? Fine. I thought you would, succeed me. Apparently, you not. So you know what? You banished. Get out. Since you done did this, get get your butt out. You know what I'm saying? And he's banished. And what's interesting about that, not only is he banished, he's cut out of his inheritance, because also he was given the land of his parents. But now that he's banished, oh, that ain't his no more. So he don't even have an inheritance. So basically, Wawa chose a dude that lost his inheritance. That's not gonna be chief, and he's just a banished person from the tribe. Like, you know, what is up? I'm talking about. That your man? Just in case. But anyway, um, but yeah. So he's banished, and her grandfather tells her, "Don't tell the immigrant," which is the worst thing you could do. But don't tell the immigrant that you're not a virgin, or whatever. So basically, they were already being sneaky and trying to finagle the immigrant and not being honorable and just saying, hey, um, you know, our woman, the woman we promised you is totally out of pocket, and we're gonna have to come back to negotiations on something. But instead, they like, shh, don't tell nobody. So you gonna give me a sully, a sully woman, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, if I was the Eminem chief and I saw all of this, I'd be like, well, we don't want her no way. we gotta we gotta protect our bloodline too. The sanctity of our bloodline too. But just in case. See, but yeah, um, and Marlene does remind you of Romeo and Juliet. It's just that these are people, like I say at the beginning, it's just these are people from the same tribe, and there's no hatred between the families, you know. Whereas in Romeo and Juliet, there was hatred between the families, you know what I'm saying, um, and whatnot. Um, but well, I ain't about to go into the dang on Romeo and Juliet. More people died in Romeo and Juliet, though. More people died, but yeah. Um, and you don't have the prince saying, all are punished, you know, because there's no point, not at this one. But yeah, and so you know, her grandfather shows her a magazine of Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth, when they were younger, and Wawa it's like, do they love each other? They had an arrangement. Do they love each other? And he's like, well, yeah, you know, but they respected the whims of their ancestors and elders. And then he shows her, and she's like I say, why gives that scowl or that that face, like, really, you know what I'm saying, like, really, I can't say, like, really, but he goes and shows her a picture of him actually going to England and meeting Prince Philip. Here's this guy, not wearing any clothes or anything, and in the incubation and creation of his people, and then you see him suited and booted, meeting English royalty. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, well, I could look at him and I knew that he loved her. He loved her. But Wawa ain't believing that. And so Wawa runs off and runs away with Gang, you know. And they go to the coast and they meet a chief, of another tribe there, that basically live on the coast, because here also, as they're traveling, here you have them, they all in love with puppy love. Man, it was a puppy love out this. Well, it was puppy love. And they're like, well, how many kids we're gonna have, and how many this, and how many that. Why I just eat it up? We're gonna have a bunch of kids, and we're gonna have a big, garden and whatnot. We're gonna have this, we're gonna that. It's like, bro, you already lost your inheritance. Where you gonna get land at? you know, you promised all these dang kids and whatnot, but how you gonna do that? And right now, you don't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't have nothing. Unrealistic. Exactly, Sister Kashia. And like I said, they meet the chief, and he's like, well, they can live here, but he has to seek the permission of their chiefs. And Walt was like, but then we'll leave. You know what I'm saying? But he's doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? That scene had me so upset. They speak badly about those of their tribe who chose um, Christianity and left their Yahoo tradition. Yeah. Well, you know, um, Like I said, that's that whole that was interesting. Yet the shaman had so much pride in his picture. With the world colonizers. Yeah, yeah. He went. Like I say, it felt like something like you were seeing. When the Zulus went to meet Queen Victoria, it was like that. But yeah, he had pride in that, But he was like the Christians are, them boys, them people, the tribes that are Christianized, they're lost. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, and the Christians was like, man, they're living in sin. you know. Have you heard the good news? you know. But but the chief um tells them, hey, why don't y'all go and live with the Christians? Why don't y'all go and live with the Christians? They'll accept you. You know what I'm saying? And so, Chief Charlie tells, the Emmerdale what's happened. And they're mad. He's like, why y'all didn't watch y'all, why didn't watch y'all daughter or whatever? What, y'all just gonna let her do that? And then they start fighting, Hey, Emmerdale get bucked, And they like, look, the chief of the Emmerdale says, look, we gonna take her and then we gonna kill him. You know what I'm saying? And they leave, But Chief Charlie says, hey, we got to find them first and warn him, and grab her back to take her to the Emmerdale before he gets killed. You know, um, so Dane and Wawa go to see the Christians, and that was an interesting scene because you just see Dane and Wawa, they don't have on clothes, cloth. They're in grass skirts and practically naked. But they look at the Christians like, and they're having service. They having service. I mean, they are speaking in tongues and they are having a ball. But they look at them like, what are they doing? Like how indigenous people first meet, what Western Europeans, they like, what are they doing? What are they praying to? And they're just quiet. And then, the women come over and she's shaking their hands and laying hands on. See, she laying hands on them. Like, y'all live in sin, but it's all right. Y'all can come here. um, and Chief there is like, yeah, y'all can come in, but we have to notify your parents. We'll have y'all married under the graciousness of God. I'm talking about. They like, well, we can't tell our parents because they can't let nobody know that this is basically a political um, taboo, but a political warfare. An international crisis. See, and across an intertribal crisis. I'll say it like that. An intertribal crisis that could end in war. And this could affect other people that harbor them. If you ask me. And so they see that, but Dane's like, well, let me talk with Wawa. And they decide to live in the forest. You know. Um to me it seemed like they were Adam and Isha coming out of Eden disgraced. Hmm, I get it, but then again, You can't. You can call Dane Adam or Adam, and the only reason why I say that is because he's more like the serpent. He's using romance. Adam ain't using no romance to get. He was, she was made for him. He just, but that's why I say, yeah, I get the premise, but at the same time, you know, there it's no one's suggesting or corrupting the woman, but dang is corrupting the woman. So you could say he's more like the serpent more than more than Adam. You know what I'm saying? He's more. So look, dude had a flute. Like, you know why I'm not gonna use that reference just because I was about to call him something. dude had a well, a fife. You know what I'm saying? But he was always playing on his flute. Try to get at her. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing anything righteous. Particularly when they were face to face with the Christians, not in speech but in view. Oh yeah, their heads down, naked, coming to others who let them know that they were naked. Yeah, I just looked at it like I said. Me personally, I looked at it like the indigenous looking at Christians all weird, like they are weird. What are they doing? Like I ain't never been up close to them, but they are weird. What is she doing? Why is she shaking her hands? What are they singing? What they got on a bunch of clothes. Ain't they hot? Like they said, man, them Christians freak me out. Like me too. That's how I looked at it. You know, like they got a bunch of clothes. Ain't they hot? I mean, all I got is the sheep, but but at the same time, who has more shame? Dane and Wawa at that scene, or was it the Christians that were fully clothed? Basically begging to be washed away from sin. And that's a thought because they were fully clothed. And what does that represent? But they didn't have on much clothes at all. you know. But you could take that so many, man. You could take that so many ways or so many standpoints. And so one thing I like, you saw the Eminem, they were just straight runners. They kept on running. But then you have Lil Celine, she goes and track them. Yeah, she running, man, run like she a track star. Little kid running like she Flojo or somebody. You know what I'm saying? And she tells her dad, where the Eminem are. And where she saw Wawa and them, because they went back to the volcano. And so once again, they find the cave. Now, I thought, when they go to the cave, it's like, man, if the Eminem find y'all, you got no way to retreat. You done. You know what I'm talking about? And there's only one of you, and it's like 5 to 10 of them. And but they go to the cave. Wawa's father fights, Dane again, and so, Wawa's like, I'm not going with y'all, whatever. But they like, look, we gonna take her back to the Eminem, and then all of a sudden, here comes Dane all sad, like, and then he agreed. you know. But they stay in the cave that night, and Dane and Wawa, they basically leave the cave, while everybody else is asleep, and they end up committing suicide together because Wawa's like, I'm not leaving you. I'm staying. And you. But she's staying. that girl staying. She said she ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm talking about. But they commit suicide together. And the men bring them back home. You know. And so, um, everybody's sad. Let's see some. Everybody's sad. And all of a sudden, grandfather, you know, he comes up, he gets a new song, as um the Eminem and the Yaku, they meet, they meet again. And so he sings the song of the two lovers, and the song was like, well, we told y'all how we feel, so we chose this route. You know what I'm saying? And the chief asked for love marriages. And the Eminem, chief, Eminem chief agrees, you know, and that unites them in peace, right? My thing is like, man, we did all that. Look, we had to go chase. We had to chase out some people. We had to do all this, and all of a sudden, we have to change for love, romance, marriages, or whatever. Spam call. But we have to, we did all of this. All of a sudden, two people, commit suicide, and all of a sudden, it's about romanticized love. You know, they went outside the culture and the covering of the culture, and caused all this ruckus. Well, all of us could have got killed. But now we got to accept them back because they died and they are young seedlings. I was like, man, y'all got a bunch of little kids. Y'all be all right. But maybe I'm wrong. But that's what unites the Eminem. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think so either, Marlene, because of the simple fact that this was an intertribal issue. And like I said, it could have went bad. That tribe could have got wiped out because they were not going to beat the Eminem. I believe that. They were not going to beat the Eminem. So, but now they have love marriages where feeling and emotion, where emotions change, like night and day, and that's not real love. You know what I'm saying? But romanticized Greco-Roman type, so-called romanticized love marriages are in place. Daddy, I love him. All this stuff. Nobody thinks about the bigger picture. Nobody pays attention to the purpose. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they do that, and they started dancing. I like the dancing at the end. Like I say, it gave me a little bit of Zulu vibes. As they stomping their feet. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. But like they say, since the suicide of 1987, you know what I'm saying, the tribes of Tanna accepted love marriages, as part of their costume, But yeah, this movie got great reviews and it's good. The cinematography is good. I would say the beauty of the South Pacific, or the melanin rich people of the South Pacific, was amazing to see. Because some people don't know. Some people don't know that the melanin rich people that live just like you on the far east coast of the world. You know what I'm saying? Where you think they came from? you know, you know. Oh, they also gave me some Aboriginal vibes. You know what I'm saying? From Australia, but yeah. But that was just too. Nobody fought, man. Nobody fought the culture. Like I say, this was an incident you don't want to happen. Some movies teach you, this is what you don't do. And this shows you what you don't do. You know what I'm saying? If you have the understanding to pay attention. Like um I like, coming to America. But that's just for the comedy. But at the same time, when it's a movie that shows you if you have eyes to pay attention, it shows you what you don't do when courting or seeking a marriage. I had to learn that. But yeah, love would get you killed. So, exactly. Love get you killed. Well, yeah. Romanticized love would get you killed. You be taking your wife in for what? you know, already. And not only that, already, Dane is showing that he can't produce anything. He can't give that woman real instruction. And he was birthed in the culture just like she was. And the chief's grandson. And he couldn't even give him no dang on instruction. Or direction. You saw what he led her to. Her death. Or their death. It's like, you know. But it is what it is. Yeah, it was irrational and impulsive. He had a birthright and risked it for some time. Now, I ain't saying, Wawa wasn't cute, because Wawa was cute. That baby face, it'll get you. You be bucking at the knees, ready to go. But at the same time, he had an inheritance, he had a bloodline, and them, that cute giggly laugh and them innocent eyes and the cute cheeks, cute squirrel cheeks, and she was the distraction. She was the distraction from the main purpose, which is to inherit the chiefdom, which she shouldn't have been. She should have been if she was made for to be with him, she would have been groomed to be, the wife of the chief or the next chief, and she wasn't. So you, now all of a sudden, I just said something about Dago come to America. Ever since I was born, I've been trained to serve you. It's that type of deal. But it is what it is, right? But yeah, and they got, what I'm talking about. They got good, what I'm talking about. And so, it is what it is. What exactly, whatever music you like, whatever food you like. But it is what it is, right? um, so yeah. But they became peaceful, But that also shows because of that sort of corrupted, the culture of the people, you know. To, in if you pay attention, it's sort of the same thing what Christianity would do, to the indigenous people. You know what I'm saying? It would plague them in a sense, because it wasn't a real Christianity, no way. You know, Once again, romanticized Christianity. Get it? But here you have romanticized love, playing the culture of a people that solved a problem long ago. Before okay, the chief is going to officiate who you marry, you know, and That's it. And even what I was grandmother say, but I didn't get I didn't choose my marriage, but look how it worked out. Think about it. You're here. If I didn't like if I didn't like your granddad, I married the shaman. I had an arranged marriage with the shaman. you know, so it didn't turn out bad for me. But it is what it is. you know, um, but yeah, it's still still a good movie, still a good movie. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. Um, got a lot of award nods and whatnot. So yeah, it was good, man. So I thought it was cool. So next strong, right? Uh, I'm on break. Next strong, I am on break, and we are doing uh, Raise the Red Lantern, and it's going to be hosted by sisters Moksha and sister Deidre. And look, we getting into more marriage with that one, but we going to we going to the Far East now. We going to the Far East. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be good. I can't wait. Look, I already did. You know what I'm talking about. You know, I can't wait. It's been a bit since you done a movie breakdown. Anyway, you was nervous the last one. I think you got your feet wet. You'll be able to come with it. I can't wait for it anyway. Because got Gong Li in it. And we dealing with we dealing with China. You know what I'm talking about? And I'll tell you historically, because this is dealing with plural marriage. Historically, plural marriage in China was not outlawed until like um, when the Communist Party took over. You know, and it's not even 100 years old. It's not really 100 years old. It will survive, pretty much, the Warrens, the time of the warlords, as they say. You know what I'm saying? But once Mao and them, and the Democratic Republic of China with Chiang Kai-shek, and but when Mao and them take over, then they do away with plural marriage. You know what I'm talking about? So I find that very cool and interesting. You know what I'm saying? Um, and whatnot. Because that whole system is has always been interesting. You get into your wives and concubines, and there is a harem. There is a harem, and there is structure in that harem. Now, do they do it right? I'm always like, if it's depicted in cinema and TV, you be like, man, they don't got no game. They got all these women, in this area, but they don't got no game. They cutthroat, but it's very interesting. It's very cool. And it tells you, like I say, tells you what to do, probably what not to do. You pick up gems, you know what I'm saying? You pick up gems in certain things like this, So yeah, you know, um, I'm sure with Gong Li is gonna have some good acting. You know what I'm talking about? So um, that's what we on. We gonna raise the red Latin. Um, yes, there is a structure, but it lacked harmony. Boy, did it lack harmony. I mean, like I say, they be having girl gays in the harem, man. you know, Noble Consul say what? Well, the Empress say, and I'm bringing my ladies away there. We banging on that chick, and they will. Oh, this chick don't know, the rules of the harem. Beat her, smack her. I ain't gonna smack her, but you smack her. That was yes, there was a lot of possessiveness. A lot of possessiveness and non family unity. Non-family unity and whatnot. You sort of understand that as well. Like if you watch the movie or read the book, The Joy Luck Club, it goes into that a little bit. You know, yes, emotional maturity as well. And at that time they're supposed to be highly, highly philosophical and sophisticated. They got Confucius and meniscus and so many dang on emperors, and yet no one evolved the harem structure. It's very interesting. you know but yeah, what I'm saying. um so it is what it is. But that's what we doing. We gonna raise, they gonna raise the red letter. I'm gonna kick back and see what the wall gonna look like. What I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna kick back and I'm gonna let the women do their thing, you know what I'm talking about? And I'm gonna enjoy them, you know what I'm saying? And see what they do. Cause look, today they had they both had lives today, man. So they be on it. They be on it. Those two. Dynamic duo. you know, they a team like Bert and Ernie, Superman and Clark Kent, Millie and Vanilli. You know what I'm talking about? But so that's what we doing. Tomorrow, Shima, with Chief, and hey, we gonna keep it going. You know what I'm talking about? So I give thanks everybody. Have a good rest of your strong. Have a good rest of this fast. You know what I'm talking about? He can, yeah, he couldn't in Ireland. He couldn't grow past that. Even when he was given instructions to, he couldn't go past the revenge point. But have a good rest of your strong. And I will see. No, I will not see y'all that strong. But I will see y'all, top of the month, top of the next month. you know. So that's what's gonna go down. So yeah. So give thanks everybody and peace. Ooh, suggest films. Suggest films. Films for what? Sister Deirdre. Oh, for the phone. What films you want suggested? Everybody else. Hmm? I'm lost. Oh, yeah. If you got requests, if you have a request, um, or you want to suggest the movie, the movie request form is in Teams in files. It's the worksheet, Microsoft worksheet. So it's easy to find. It's the green one. If you just need to color code it, you know what I'm saying. And yeah, what I'm talking about. And so, you know, hey, we do take requests, and we do, um, take care of them as quickly and efficiently as we can possible. You know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so send those requests if you have any. Don't take long to write them out. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, go right ahead. So once again, that's all we got. You know what I'm saying. So give thanks everybody and peace.